So Alicia Cole just fucked off? She wasn't even part of the finale? What? Why? What's going on?
Deirdre! See, boys? You look... dirty. I'm fine. We need to see the judge, now.
Yeah, us too. We found the
will. No need to recap. Let's go.
No need to recap, but I'll spend 10 minutes
all right?
discussing useless
Deirdre,
shit.
can you, Frank, and Joe wait in the hallway? Don't let anyone leave this office.
My pleasure.
Judge, we need to talk.
What is this?
Alicia,
It's
you're a
urgent.
bitch.
Yes, it looks like it. Is it a confession?
Maybe.
Judge, we've been here all night. I think it's time we retire.
You're not going anywhere, perp.
Excuse me?
Your Honor, it's become clear to us that Miss Cole has been the perpetrator of numerous crimes here in Salem. Including
Crimes!
attempted murder.
Murder.
Crimes.
Judge, please.
That's a very serious claim, Nancy.
And this is a serious case. People's lives hang in the balance.
This is very cute and all, but we have to do adult things now. So run along, everyone, before your PB&Js get cold.
I have proof. And it's all related to the Hathorn house, the future of which rests in your hands. So I think you should hear me out before you sign that paper.
All right.
What? You can't be serious. Judge, this is clearly a half-brained attempt to delay what we have determined to be a sound judgment, that the Hathorn house should revert to the state.
We have spent most of this evening going over all possibilities for how to decide the rightful owner of this house.
Oh my god,
We've been
just end
very
it.
adamant that the state should handle it. But if Nancy has any evidence to add, I'm willing to hear her out.
Look at that snarl on her
Unbelievable.
face. Look at that snarl.
Alicia has been poisoning Lauren Holt's water supply.
Poisoning. That's just too much.
After interviewing Lauren Holt, an
Are we
experienced
really gonna go
of
through
the side
everything we
effects from
already
drinking her
know?
water,
Can't we just
discovered
arrest
that
her and
someone
move
had
on
been
with this?
tainting
Why do
the
we
water
need
supply
it?
with ergot.
Well, that would explain my client's erratic behavior over the past few weeks.
She lost her mother.
Months ago. And that woman wasn't her mother. Give me a break.
How do you know that ergot causes erratic behavior?
You said
it's
she was
common
poisoned.
knowledge.
Wouldn't that affect anyone's behavior? What exactly are you insinuating?
That you know how ergot affects its victims.
I'm not
This is
answering
common
these questions.
knowledge, Nancy.
I
This isn't
happen
really
to
an
be well-versed in
accusation.
biology, all right? But any tidbit of knowledge I have, you'll just try to trap me with it. Use it against me.
I don't need to do that, because I found in your office a map of the Hathorn house's water system.
Yes. And did you also find the notice of demolition on my desk?
Demolition.
When you illegally broke into my office? Are you going to arrest her for breaking
That's
and
what I
entering?
should be watching instead
Is
of
what
finishing this
Nancy's
up at this
saying
point in
true?
time.
Of course, I have a map of the Hathorn house's water plans.
So you admit it. You
Why
were
do
the
we
one to
need
try
to go
demolish Hathorn House.
through with this?
I was providing my client, Lauren Holt, with that option, yes. The land is worth a lot of money, and I was doing my due diligence. Have you done yours?
I brought up the demolition with Lauren. She says you never discussed it. I am certain she will be happy to testify.
Which? She must have forgotten. Because of the poisoning you claim she's been affected by.
This
That
is so
option-
stupid.
What about flooding the tunnels under Salem in the past hour? Would you know how to do that, Miss Cole?
I was here, Miss Drew.
Your coat looks pretty soaked. And muddy shoes.
Water is wet, and it's raining outside. Are you satisfied with the ridiculousness of this yet? How much longer are you gonna let this go on?
It all does seem circumstantial. Is that all you have, Miss Drew?
Pretty much.
Alicia was responsible for stealing AW evidence from your office.
This should be interesting.
I spoke with your son, Jason. He claims Alicia forced him.
Jason is a grown man. His actions are his own.
Alicia lent Jason
Is he a
her
grown
car.
man, really?
Then Jason broke into the evidence room and stole the files. I have proof on CCTV.
So, what it actually sounds like is that Jason took my car, stole the evidence, and somehow I'm to blame?
How did he have access to your car?
I gave him the keys. He runs errands for me all the time.
And how did he have access to the evidence room? Only you and the judge had the code.
Look here, on the wall. An access code. I wonder if it's for the evidence room. Probably. Apologies, Judge.
She's
But your
getting smart.
carelessness is the reason this happened. In all probability, Jason
She's getting
heard that you
smart
left
with
the
us.
door unlocked, and he just went and opened it.
Okay, well, why would Jason steal the evidence,
Spends
though?
any time with me.
I found this in 10 seconds. You left it out for anyone to see. If he didn't know the door was unlocked, how hard would it have been to find your key?
Miss Cole, that's enough. Anything else, Miss Drew?
I still don't understand why we have
Alicia
to
was
do
behind
this.
the theft of the Book of Apologies.
I've never been to Europe, okay?
How did you know it was in Europe?
I heard the judge talking to you about it.
I found plane tickets in Jason's car. He admitted to stealing the Book of Apologies on Alicia Cole's orders.
Orders? How did I order little Jason to do this, Nancy Drew?
With sex!
Jason has financial problems. Right, Judge?
I don't really know.
With
To
sex.
be honest with you, I know he's always looking for money.
He's in debt.
That's
That
kind of gross. The dude's probably
fact
underage.
Alicia
Forget I made
uses
that
to her
joke.
advantage.
Forget about it.
Oh, this is absurd.
How did he buy
They're
a
in college,
first-class
actually.
round-trip
Never
ticket
mind.
to
Jokes
Salzburg
jokes
when the crime
reinstated.
occurred?
Because I pay him for doing errands for me. He could use his money however he
Why do we
He's
need
a
to
big
do
boy now.
this?
I admit, I don't know how we could prove that
Like, I
Alicia-
mean,
Call the airline. You can use the plane ticket reference number. Call the airline. They should be able to check the payment. I bet you it was paid by Alicia Cole, credit card. There's no way Jason would have that much cash to buy a first-class ticket.
that's kind of a stupid
Obviously
thing in
stole my credit
hindsight.
card.
So, you admit
Like,
that
this is
your
the
card
dumbest
was
shit.
used
It's
to make the
clear that you're
purchase.
guilty. Why do we need to go through all
I
this
didn't say that.
rigmarole?
If the card is still active, I doubt that he stole it.
Why?
credit card
Like, is this
company
just
would have
used to
notified
pad
you
out the
for making a
game?
large
I don't
purchase, And you
understand.
would have canceled it.
How large is this?
Good
purchase?
lord.
Thousands of dollars, Judge.
Oh, the pacing. It sucks. The pacing, though.
Miss Cole, if this was a court of law and the police were asking for probable cause, I'd be hard-pressed not to allow it. Do you have anything to say?
I told him to get rid of those tickets. You know, Your Honor, your son is a real idiot. Truly,
Well,
a world-class
let's
moron.
just admit to all
He
of it
couldn't even
now, I
follow
guess.
simple instructions. I would have had better luck writing them in crayon. And this? Seriously? This is the kind of stuff I have to deal with? I went to law school. I have 3 degrees. And now I have an arsonist, 2 ghost hunters, a wannabe detective, and her assistant.
Hey, what? No!
Trying to screw up my plans.
All the people you pointed out are the reason you're going down.
No.
So we just spent the
reason
last.
I am going down is that this stupid little town is stuck in the past. Oh, my great-great-great-great-grandmother was accused
my
as a
God.
witch. I want repayment because I'm lazy. She
Ugh.
loved me so much that I want this disgusting ruin of a house for free so I can run my luminous vegan tea grocery store. That is what pathetic looks like. A bunch of whining, moaning little people whose worldview is infinitesimally small.
Why, Alicia?
Why? Because I wanted to do something for this
So she
town.
spent 15
I care
minutes
about
vehemently
Salem more
denying
than
all of
the
it, and then
Olivias and
immediately
Keegans
after
and
just
Boris
did this.
combined. I care the most. We should
Why
have
didn't we
leveled
just
that
do
whole
this
stuff
in the
a long
first
time ago
place?
And built new houses.
That past
With all
15
that
minutes
land,
was
we could
completely
have a real
useless.
community here. We could bring in new business that isn't completely reliant on stupid, scary stuff. I am talking about economic development on a level which Salem has never even seen.
And who would be the owner
It's all
of these
about
new
that
houses?
money.
Well, after knowing this case inside out, it wouldn't be hard for me to get the land out of the grasp of the state. After all I've done for this community, some recompense is in order.
So,
Is it?
you're saying you poisoned Lauren so you could build and own a housing complex.
Do you realize how much money is in real estate? And give me a break. I was just scaring her. I told you I know about biology. She was never in any real danger.
Alicia, I saw the ergot in the water valve. There is absolutely no way you could control the dosage that Lauren ingested. You could have done irreparable damage.
So what? I live here.
Getting into
I
it.
work here. I am a member of this community. This town needs me.
No, it doesn't.
I already have the papers, and I am taking them to the state office. And none of you
Just
are going
end
to
the
stop me,
misery.
because you can't prove anything. There's no legal heir to the Hathorn estate, and none of the evidence Detective Girl brought up will stick.
So you admit to all of it.
Yes. Now get out of my
Guess
way.
what? We had a voice recorder on us.
The police are on their way. You can wait here for them to arrive.
This is unbelievable. I only wanted to make Salem.
This is highly disturbing. I am shocked.
This
Very
whole game
shocked
is
at what
highly
has occurred
disturbing.
here. Miss Cole will be held accountable
judge
for
said
her
it
crimes.
best.
I will make sure of it. But as much as it pains me to admit, she is right. We do not have a legal heir.
Yes, we do.
It's me.
According to the
Chris.
Book of Apologies and Francis Tuttle's will, Lauren Holt is the legal owner of the Hathorn House estate. The will makes it clear that Lauren is the sole inheritor of
Oh
the
my
estate.
god, we already
No
know
one
all
else.
this.
However, in the best interest of all parties, perhaps there could be a way to erect a memorial for the accused witches. That is something that you, Your Honor, would have to facilitate.
Of course. Okay.
Are there multiple endings
Well,
for
what
this?
about the Hathorn House fire?
No one forgave me when I made a mistake. Break the cycle, right?
May had nothing to do with the fire,
You're sure? How do you know?
because I have a confession from the person who did.
Really?
Really now? To force out Lauren.
Tegan Perry is responsible for the
Jesus,
fire.
you can just really
It was
fuck
an
people
accident.
over.
An accident?
Yes. Tegan went looking for the will and accidentally knocked a candle over inside the house. The fire grew out of control. I questioned her myself. I believe her.
I'm afraid I can't just take your word for it. Will Tegan give us the same testimony?
Yes, I
She
believe
better
so.
be.
Well,
she better, so I can get this game
The
over
house
with
is
and
going to
leave
be
Salem.
demolished anyway.
Leave this shit
And while I
town
wish I
forever.
could give out punishment for withholding information, I suppose we can keep this at a misdemeanor level. Perhaps a fine, some community service. What a mess.
This has
Indeed.
been a very tough time.
All
for
of these
everyone.
could be said about the game
I think
itself.
the damage has been done.
Agreed. But
Judge, did you ever interview May? Get a statement from her? Anything
Oh
on
god, the
record?
music's picking
well,
up.
not exactly.
So you just assumed she was guilty of the crime without even speaking with her?
A case needed to be built.
There was no case, because you never needed to make one. You thought she was guilty, and so you treated her accordingly.
Miss True, I ask that in this office you treat me with respect.
Fuck
You deserve
that.
as much respect as I'm currently giving you, Judge.
Ooh,
Nancy,
we're going deep.
maybe we should...
You made this poor girl's life a living nightmare because
She
of
is
something
going
she did
in.
when she was young. She was a kid, Your Honor. Her entire life molded and built
Going
and
in
destroyed
hard.
by an event she barely remembers. Can you imagine what that does to someone? Can you imagine what that does to her family? To her friends?
Well, that is a bit unfair.
You know, this town has a history of judges behaving without sound jurisprudence. And I would expect that after 300
Mother of
years,
God.
you would be able to right that wrong.
She's just going in.
Perhaps. You have a point.
It's like, fuck!
Concerns are not
I can't
unfounded.
talk back to
You think
that
Jason
shit.
is a screw-up now? What would have happened if he had been friends with her?
He is friends with her, Judge.
What? How's that possible?
Jesus Christ, do I have to explain
at
every
least I would
facet
know.
of this
A
case?
judge is supposed to judge
Just-
people on their actions
What is
alone,
this
not
pacing, and
people
why
they
is
call their
Alicia
friends.
Cole still sitting
I just
here?
hope you remember that when you sentence Jason. Because his crimes aren't imagined. They're real. And they deserve real punishment.
What the fuck is happening? Okay, are we done yet? Oh my god, there's more. There's more. There's more to the shit. It's not over yet. Say goodbye. Goodbye. We're out. We're out of this bitch. We're going home.
I
to say I'm sorry.
For what?
We always promised that a secret was the most important thing in the world, and we would never break
Oh
it.
my god, just
And I did.
end
You
this.
saved my life.
What the fuck?
Nancy hadn't found me?
I
Well,
don't care.
I'm going to be gone for a while.
The man's gonna be clanking the
still,
bars
I
in
know who
prison.
you are. There's a good person hidden below this pretty boy exterior.
Come on.
You may go away, but that good part never will.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Everything okay?
Christ.
Yeah.
Like,
Come on.
fucking Christ. Oh, there's more. Oh my god, there's party music.
I never thought I'd say this, but
Oh, you can't see it, but I'm dancing in the background to this terrific beat.
Of course. The celebration party is the best part of most
What
cases.
party? There's
No.
3 people here.
well, yes.
Who's all here?
I meant to say. I still don't understand why you
I
would
hear
not be
people,
like
but they're all
that.
ghosts.
Makes me fun of doing
Maybe
stuff
Abigail
like that.
Hathorne Woodley has come back. Has come back from the
Things have been
grave
tough for you.
to
Please,
party it up
don't worry
in the
about it.
Newberry household.
I'm just happy I was able to help.
You were, for sure. I'm going to
Awesome.
art school. I don't think I mentioned it, but I'm really excited.
Good for
Nervous.
you.
I've never really left Salem before.
And
You
hey,
should. This
maybe
town
we'll meet
sucks.
again sometime.
So does
Yeah.
Escape.
That wouldn't be the worst, I guess.
Oh, Christ. We got Lauren and we got Olivia. That's literally it? That's who's at this party? Is there nobody else here? What a party. What a rollicking good time, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ. Is there anybody upstairs? Not a soul. My god.
The neighborhood looks peaceful.
Good lord. What a party. I feel embarrassed even being in this house right now.
Nancy,
Yo,
so glad you're here.
what's up, boys?
Of course. I wouldn't miss the party after all we went
The
through.
party,
Hey,
in quotations.
You ask her? You know, the thing we talked about.
Oh, yeah, right. So, Nancy, the thing we talked about before? Have you thought about it? Starting a detective agency, I mean.
The Hardys and Drew Detective Agency. Has a nice ring to it, no?
Guys, I don't know.
Oh, sorry, your name can be placed first, of course. If that helps persuade you.
I'm gonna have to think about it.
Well, that went nowhere.
And
What's
who
up?
do we have here? If it isn't the insightful red-headed witch herself,
I thought you were the only real witch
Are we
around.
redheaded? I thought we were
there's always
blonde.
room for another witch in the coven, Nancy Drew. And I have to say, someone with your magical insights, clairvoyance, even would make a great fit.
I have always wanted to ride on a broom. Would make it easier to get an overview of crime scenes.
Nancy
Really,
should play
thank
that
you
college
for bringing us all
Quidditch.
together
That,
again.
that apparently
It feels
exists.
like ages since I was able to talk openly with Lauren. It's great to finally
Oh
have
my
the curse
God.
from that night lifted. Thank you.
The last part of this video is just gonna be complete bullshit dialogue that none of it matters.
I can't believe Alicia would do this. I trusted her, you know?
It's incredible.
Things
There's
would
literally a
really
solid
bad
35-minute chunk of this video that's just gonna be this.
I'm sorry. You couldn't have known. Did the judge have a chance to talk to you about the house? It is yours, of course. But maybe it would be fitting to have a memorial for the accused witches there?
The estate has a lot of ground, and it would be nice to have a memorial to remind us of the injustices that took place here, so that they never happen, ever. I'll think about it.
I mean, I guess they were trying to go with a more movie ending, but like,
It's a good idea.
God, if they
Glad you
stretched
see it
this
that
out.
way.
This game wore out its welcome like 40 minutes
You didn't
ago.
have to.
What? I told the truth. Or at least the truth you told me.
I gotta fuck Tegan over so bad.
I don't do that already, though.
What was that exhibit you were planning?
Which street art?
Who's the artist?
I think
Me.
you know her.
Do you ever feel...
Remorse for not sticking up for my sister?
Do you ever feel remorseful that you threw your sister under the bus and were willing to let her go to fucking prison?
She doesn't
By the way, your
really
motivations
know
still don't make any sense.
And You're the only reason she doesn't think I'm a complete dirtbag.
I wanna go.
Lauren deserves that place.
I wanna
She
go.
does.
You sound genuine.
Don't be so surprised. She's had a tough life too, you know. I'm not mad at her. I
Ah,
hope that maybe she will see eye to eye with me someday.
You did set fire to her house.
Yeah, there is that. It hasn't all been crime.
how'd you
and
get on the
punishment, though.
property in the first
We had
place?
so many great memories.
Did we? Did we have some
And
great
one moment of
memories?
shame.
And I told you. I would tell myself we were all kids, but I was old enough to know better anyway. I almost did it again. She says she forgives me, but we still have a lot to make up for. We all do. We are all going to help each other.
Not me. I'm out. I'm out. Later, bitches.
Yet?
Yes.
I just got here.
Not the house. Salem. You always wrap up your cases in a nice bow to run off.
I
to
was
the
ready
next
to
one
leave
the day
Salem
after,
2 days
don't you?
ago. Believe
This
me.
time, I might actually take that vacation.
Doesn't sound like your style. But if you say so. Look,
I was ready to
we
leave
had
2
our
days ago.
moments during the past few days. In the end, you cleared May's name. So thanks.
You turned on me when it was convenient for the game and the story. That's literally the only reason that happened.
You did get Tegan off the hook too, though. I hate to admit it, but for a moment, I actually felt happy I called you here. Don't get used to it. I can handle cases on my own, and I've just emptied your praise quota for the coming year.
I know you can. I'll see you
Okay.
around.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. Oh, am I finally calling Ned?
I got it. Ready? Austria.
What?
Yeah, I know I was just there, but I didn't really get to enjoy it much. I feel like there's a lot more exploring left to do there. Did you know Schönbrunn Palace has 1,440 rooms?
That's a big house.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you can stay there. I'm sure we could find something close by. Yes, I promise. No
Is
cases.
this setting us up for like a
Just the two
final
of us.
jump scare, or what's going on here? Why can't I hear Ned on the other end? Was that... What? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, give me strength. Yeah, not great. Dialogue writers, congrats, you did an amazing job. They even had additional dialogue rating. Well, they got their money's worth because holy fuck was there some dialogue in this game. Oh man, I gotta do a review for this thing now, don't I? Christ. Yeah, I don't even know where to begin. I don't know. Like, I don't want to be too harsh on this game, I guess, because I know, like, the majority of the people who made this were on a new team and just way in over their heads for this one as compared to the previous games, but, like, she was fucking rough. Like, technically, it's an absolute mess. Like, I even on my computer, which should have zero problem, like, running this thing and, displaying it properly, I was still getting glitches all throughout the entire game. I was getting freezes. I had a crash once on me back near the beginning of the game. Like, textures weren't loading properly. Characters looked like shit. The graphics were awful. Lighting wasn't there half the time. Audio was not good. Yeah, technically it was a disaster. Okay. Story-wise, honestly, the story was okay, except for like the last hour and a half, which seemed incredibly rushed. And then, like, the climax of the game seemed incredibly rushed, where it was just like, okay, everything's happening, everyone's just suddenly confessing to all this stuff, like, for no reason. We are not any closer to figuring out they really did it, and everyone's just confessing everywhere. Tegan's motivation still makes absolutely no sense. I have no idea what was going on with her character. I don't get it. Like I said, like, if her whole thing was to just let this blow over and hope nobody got arrested for it, why the hell did she invite us there in the first place? Like, why did she was it her or Deirdre? Either way, like, why did she let Deirdre invite us to this place? Because she had to know, like, we would be investigating the case. So, like, what did she expect would happen? She had to know we would figure something out. So I don't get it. I don't understand what her motivation was for any of it. Alicia Cole's motivation, like, I don't know, like, it kind of made sense, I guess. I don't know. It never even really told us at the end if she was going to prison or not, because, like, the judge himself said, like, there's nothing that's going to hold up in court anyway, so what the hell was the point? And, like, that was absolutely ridiculous. Like, I did not need 35 minutes of wrapping everything up when it had nothing to do with anything. Like, there was no reason to have a 15-minute fucking explanation about everything that happened in the case. We already knew. We knew everything that was going on at that point. Why do I have to sit there and explain it to the suspect and the judge over again? Only to have the suspect completely deny it all for 15 minutes, make up excuses, and then pull a 180 for no reason and just immediately just admit to everything. Like, why? Why was that first 15 minutes there in the first place? Like, it just killed time. This game I was expecting to be a lot longer, because, like, that was one of the promises that Her Interactive, I remember, made way back when this thing was originally supposed to be getting made, is they were supposed to be like, yeah, you know, you're gonna have, like, way extra suspects, and, like, the game time's gonna be way longer. And, like, it's not. It was, like, 4 hours, maybe 5 hours of total gameplay time. And, like, and it's really hand-holdy, too. I found that, too. Like, except for some of the puzzles, which were vague as fuck. Like, I'm not sure if it would be different on Senior, but it was incredibly linear and incredibly hand-holdy. Like, it seemed like there were no two puzzles you could look at the same time, like in the old games. Like, it was like, here's a straight path. It wouldn't let you leave the room most of the time until you got the hell, like, got all the stuff in it, right? Like, it wouldn't let you leave any of the rooms. Oh god, it's the old lady, look at that. It wouldn't let you leave any rooms until you completely investigated all of it. And, yeah, it just kind of kept you along a straight path. There was really no room for deviation much. What car does Deirdre drive? She has a green convertible. I just remember it was green. Okay, sure. So, yeah, yeah, it was really linear. The dialogue was absolutely insane. Like, I've heard a ton of people complaining about the amount of dialogue in this game, and, like, I absolutely understand it now, because, like, Jesus F, was there way too much of it. And that ties in with my point of, like, why we needed a 45-minute dialogue fest to explain everything that we already knew. There was no reason for it. It seemed like they just threw dialogue in to pad out the game. Honestly, like, someone should do a countdown of how much time you spend in conversation versus how much time you do actually walking around and investigating things, because I bet you spend like 2/3 of this game talking with people. Like 2/3 of it. So, yeah, characters were fine, honestly, except for, like, with Tegan, like I said, her motivation made absolutely no sense, but, like, the rest of them were fine. They were okay. I thought the puzzles were kind of lacking. There weren't very many of them, and the ones that were here were pretty damn vague. Like, they were either piss easy or they were stupidly vague. Like, there was no in between where it's like, oh, this is what you do. Like that circle puzzle or like the lockbox puzzle. Like, they were pretty vague on what you were supposed to do, and like, I don't know. I'm just kind of exhausted, honestly. Just going through that gauntlet of dialogue just kind of killed me. Yeah. I don't know. Like, it was not a good experience. I don't know if I'm ready to call it the worst Nancy Drew game yet, because Secret of Shadow Ranch exists, and you guys all know how much I hate that one. But like, it's not good. I would put it even below average. Like, in today's gaming market, there's a ton of detective games and point and clicks that are miles ahead of this if you're looking for a good mystery. I honestly don't even know if there will be another Nancy Drew game after this. That's the saddest shit, is like, I can't see this game making them enough money to like produce another game after this. So unless they find funding or like an investor or something that's willing to put up the money to make another game like this, I can't see it happening, honestly. I don't think this is going to be that big of a seller. There's just like, there's nothing here for like to get new fans to jump into the franchise, and it really does not do a good job of making the old fans happy either. Like, there's no winners here, which is kind of sad to me, because like, I feel like there are good ideas here. Like, they were ambitious. They tried something new, which I liked, because they did need to change, and I appreciate that they took a risk, I guess, because like the old formula, it just wasn't sustainable anymore, and I recognize that. Like, all the people saying, you know, oh, they should have just kept the old style, you know, like, it worked fine. I don't think those people realize that that was not going to make them money anymore, because like, there just wasn't enough fans for that style of game anymore. Like, they were getting no new fans anymore. It was simply sustained off of the people already playing the games, and I would imagine that number was dwindling, and the cost of producing them was probably increasing every year. So I imagine this game was their answer to try and do something drastic, to change up the formula, to try and get new people on board, and I appreciate them taking the risk. It just did not work out. And there are good ideas here. It's just, which is kind of like why I'm kind of sad that I don't think we're going to see a second game in this style, because if they improve on it, and they would need to improve on a ton, I could see it being a pretty decent little mystery. Like, it's a good starting point. They tried something new, they gave it their best shot, right? It's a good starting point. But, yeah, as it stands right now, though, this game it's not good. It's unfortunate because we've been waiting so long for it, but it is what it is. I mean, if you're a Nancy Drew fan, you might be okay with it, I guess, just to have another Nancy Drew game to play, but it is by no means a good game. It's just not. But yeah, those are my final thoughts, I guess. I don't know where our interactive goes from here, or her interactive goes from here. We'll see. Maybe they'll make another game if they get backing, but I'm not holding my breath after this one. So this could very well be the last Nancy Drew game, and that is kind of sad. But I still have a lot more of the old ones to get through on my channel, so hopefully I'll be good for a while at least before I have to do some other things, because eventually we're going to reach the end of the series, but we're a long ways until then. So Well, okay, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this Let's Play, even if I didn't enjoy the game too much. I hope the Let's Play was entertaining. It was an entertaining game, at least. It was pretty hilarious and pretty funny at times. But, yeah, thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll see you guys on my next playthrough. Take care.